YouTube, what is up? Today we are talking through the format that we've been given. It gets a little bit complicated, so bear with me. It should be the same in every region, so if you don't follow EMEA, you can just look at your group when it gets announced, and then hopefully you'll understand it. So we have Stage 1 and we have Stage 2. Stage 1 happens 10 days after Masters Madrid. Stage 2 happens 10 days after Masters Shanghai. We have 11 teams that have been put into two groups, Group Alpha and Group Omega. For Stage 1, so after Madrid, we are going to get Group Alpha playing against the teams in Group Omega, but competing against the teams in Group Alpha. So K-Corp will play Heretics, Na'Vi, Koi, Foot, Gentlemates, Giants. All the teams playing against each other is over towards here in this bracket, but they only compete against the teams in their own group, right? So it will be like who did the best against these teams in this group. So yeah, a little bit different on this one until we get 6 teams, right? 6 teams, 1 to 3 from Group Omega, 1 to 3 from Group Alpha. So 6 teams into a double elim bracket, and then we get to find out the 3 teams that go to Shanghai. All kind of makes sense at the moment, even though it is a little bit weird. I will say that if we're talking about championship points, and I'll quickly delve into that a little bit, championship points are to find out who gets 4th spot at champs, right? Who is the 4th team to make it from your region in champs, and that is done off championship points. At the moment, the only team that has championship points are K-Corp, Sentinels, Genji, and EDG, free for winning kickoff. But when you win a game in regional play, as in Stage 1 or Stage 2, you get a point. And you also get a point for games won in playoffs, which is really interesting. So if you come top of your group here, or let's explain it like this. K-Corp in normal regulation beat Heretics, they get a point, they're up to 4. But if they come top of their group, what's actually going to happen, because it's double elim bracket, because they get a bye, they're actually going to get an additional point as well. So they would have 5 points here because they kind of skipped this game. They're waiting for the winner of this game, right? They came first, they're waiting for 2 to battle out against 3 to see who they're playing. You get a point for regulation. So I would say that in terms of championship points, you have a little small advantage being in Group Alpha, being in the group that has 5. Small advantage, nothing too major, but definitely a little bit of an advantage, just because you have more chance of making the top 3 here, which means you have more chance of actually making playoffs. Okay, now that's Stage 1 done. Let's move over to Stage 2. So Stage 2, let's talk about that a little bit. So this is the overall thing. In Stage 2, you have your group still, but this time you're going to be playing against your teams in your group. So you're going to play the remaining games. And then for us to get the final 6 to make playoffs, what's going to happen is it's done on overall standings. Not done on champs points, it's done on overall standings. So it's going to be done on points of just the whole entire league. And then it's going to be done on, if we look at our tiebreaker, head-to-head, match score, head-to-head match series, and depending if it's a 3-way or a 2-way tie. So yeah, it gets a little bit complicated, but hopefully you don't have to delve into any of that. And then we get our 6 teams in the playoffs. 6 teams into playoffs, and this is where it really matters, because the 6 teams in these playoffs, the top 3 go to champs, right? So that's after all the 11 teams have played each other. We narrow it down to 6 who have done the best from Stage 1 and Stage 2, and we are then into a big playoff stage. Top 3 go to champs, and then the 4th spot is out of the remaining 7 teams, who has the best or the most amount of championship points. And again, you win championship points in Stage 1, Stage 2 for winning a game, and any additional games you win in playoffs. And obviously 3 for Masters Madrid, whoever wins it, 3 for kickoff, 3 for Shanghai, and 3 for whoever won the additional playoff to get there as well. So we'll kind of have to break that down when we get there for sure. That's like the main thing to look at when we're actually getting towards Masters. Towards the end of Champs and we're on Stage 2. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a little bit complicated, but it makes sense. I would say that, again, you have a slight advantage being in Group Alpha in terms of if you're fighting for the 4th spot, because I would say you have more chance of getting into the playoffs in stage 1, which means you have more chance of getting champ points. That's like the only thing I would argue about. You have a slight advantage being in Group Alpha. So in terms of if you're supporting another team for another region, you kind of want to be in Group Alpha, just for that small extra chance that you have a better way of getting into playoffs, and then maybe you can squeeze out some additional wins. Other than that, that is it. That is it. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Is it too complicated? I'm pretty sure it is, but we have 11 teams, and this is just what happens when we get 11 teams, and then they're just deciding to do this thing where we're splitting it up midway. So yeah, it just always becomes a little bit hard to follow. Appreciate all the comments and all of the likes, and yeah, just people subbing for all of the other videos. We're going to keep our normal videos plugging along. We've got EMEA coming out tomorrow in terms of ranking them of where I think they're going to end at the end of Split 2 this season. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Let me know in the comments how mad this is. All right, peace.